Let's start with an easy question. Do you work or are you a student? I'm actually currently working as an ESL professor here at my local college in Toronto. I love my job because it's very fulfilling helping others. I remember when my parents first arrived to Canada and didn't even know a word of English. So giving back to the community is definitely a fulfilling feeling. What do you enjoy most about your job? The thing I love most about my job is the impact we make on other people's lives. I mean, come on, arriving to a new country is so challenging on its own. However, trying to learn the language of the country is even more challenging. So, being able to give back to my community and help others learn English is the best feeling. And did you always want to do this kind of work? Well, the funny thing is, when I was younger, I was just naturally very helpful. I attended a high school that had English as a second language classes for newcomers as well as regular classes. So that's where my love for helping others was found is while I was a high school student. I used to go around asking others if they needed help with anything, especially those who spoke my mother tongue. So, this is definitely not something I decided to do, but I did realize I had a big passion for helping others, especially newcomers if they did not understand English. So, I would definitely say my love for this field just grew throughout the years. Is there anything you don't like about your job? For me, not really. I wouldn't say there's nothing I don't like about my job. I love my job, especially because I work with adults and just learning from them and their life experiences really shape me into being thankful for everything I have today. And do you see yourself doing another type of job in the future? Right now, I wouldn't say I see myself doing anything else in the future because I did study for 9 years to become an English professor. So this is something I actually have been planning to work towards, and I was able to reach my goals. Now, let's talk about mobile phones. How often do you use yours? I would say I use my phone every day, both for work and personal purposes. The reason why I appreciate having a phone is because I am able to stay connected to loved ones and really important information I need to know right away. Speaking of practice, ladies, if you're looking to join a community where you will be able to practice your speaking, then you might find my IELTS Speaking Ladies Club really interesting. This ladies club is actually hosted over Zoom. I actually teach you ladies. We go over different IELTS speaking mock tests. I give you feedback and I give you any suggestions, tips on anywhere I think you can improve on. If you are interested in this ladies club, make sure you join down below. I've made it specifically for those of you who are stay-at-home moms, who have lots of responsibility of taking care of your children, and maybe you want to learn English from home and you want to become that confident English speaker. Check the description box down below. What are some of your favorite apps? So some of my favorite apps would definitely have to be the Notes app. On my iPhone, I use the Notes app to jot down any information, any reminders, and also the Calendar app. The Calendar app is where I log in all my appointments coming up and any essential reminders I need to remind myself with. I always set some reminders on my Calendar app so I am able to keep up to date with all the information. And do you think you use your phone too much? I would be lying if I say I didn't use my phone too much. Yes, I find that I do use my phone a lot more than I would like to, but I think it's important to have a healthy balance between using your phone and just enjoying life around you, your children, your family. So I would definitely say this is something I'd like to work towards, is not using my phone as often. Let's talk about school. Do you enjoy school? Yes, definitely. I am somebody who really enjoys school, especially because I continued my studies while being a stay-at-home mom of two young children. So I would definitely say school is an area that I really enjoy. Who is your favorite teacher? My favorite teacher would definitely be my math teacher. I forget his name, but one thing I really enjoyed about him is he always made the math concepts a lot more easier to understand, which is so essential when you are learning math because it could be such a challenging subject to learn. What did you dislike most about school? One thing I disliked about school is having different lunch hours from my sister and I. So her lunch hour began at 1 p.m. to 1:30 and mine began at 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. And I used to hate that because I wished we could enjoy the lunch hour together so we can just share some stories of what we learned throughout the day. Can you describe a challenging period from your studies? Yes, definitely. So, as I mentioned earlier, I was actually a mother of two young children when I decided to pursue my bachelor's degree in adult education. Sorry, I had just had my first son at the time. That took about 9 years or 7 years, sorry, to complete my bachelor's degree. But I never gave up. But I do remember those challenging nights where my son is waking up for feedings and I'm there studying. But I never gave up on my dreams because this is something I really wanted to do. And then I pursued my master's degree and my teaching license all throughout motherhood. And I think although it was difficult times, it's something I am so happy I never gave up on. And do you feel that higher education should be free for everyone? In an ideal world, yes, I think higher education should definitely be free for everyone, especially if it's going to benefit the economy, right? I mean, we all go to school to benefit the economy in whatever country we are in. So I definitely think if the government made higher education free for students, it would just benefit them in the long run. Should scholarships only be gifted to students? That's a tough question. I would say scholarships should be given to those who are in need. So whether they are gifted or they come from a low income family, I think there should be different thresholds and guidelines for how students could be accepted to particular scholarships. And who do you think should be responsible for scholarships? Charities or the government? Ideally, I think both should play a role, especially because depending on the scholarship you are given, some could come from the government while others could come from charities. So this just totally depends on the type of scholarship that is being rewarded or being offered to students. How do you think higher education will change in the future? This is a really good question. I would say that depending on where the world is headed, and as we see, AI is taking over, and I think the method of education, the way it's delivered, is going to change. So what I mean by that is, even currently, I am working as an ESL professor at a local college, and these students that I'm teaching do not even need to step a foot in the door. They are learning English from the comfort of their own home, which has been such a drastic change from the time when I was younger and I used to go to school. There was no such thing as online education, asynchronous work. And I think this is where the world is headed, is you don't need to travel 2 hours a day to get to your local college, to sit in a classroom and to learn English. You can actually collaborate with your classmates and your peers right from the comfort of your own home. So I think this is where the world is headed with education. There's going to be lots of changes in the future, and I'm so excited for it. If you're looking for a PDF lesson of these questions, then make sure you check the description box below for the exact PDF lesson of everything that was mentioned in this video. And that wraps up our discussion. If you like this type of content, then make sure you let me know down in the comment section so that way I can produce more videos like this one where I will play both the student role and the examiner role. Take care for now. Assalamu alaikum.